number one, right? Yeah, no. Wow, okay. Moving on. Very good. My pronoun, there we go. My pronouns are he, his, and him. From a diversity of cultures, sexualities, genders, and beliefs, we come together into one congregation. We welcome everyone in the fullness of who you are, and we are glad that you are here. Now, if you have come here for the very first time, if you've been here a number of times, or you've been here 10,000th time, there's a woman in the back, Dorothy Hale, who is our welcoming captain. She's here to answer any questions you might have, or just help you with a name tag, or just be around, just to smile and give you a hug if you want one. Thank you, Dorothy, very much. Babies and children are always welcome here, but if you have a child that's 6 months to 5 years, face it, it's a free babysitter for 45 minutes if you want. Or just sit and chill and enjoy the service with them. The nursery is downstairs, but Dorothy will show you where it is if you need some help. And about halfway through the service today, kids will head out to the fellowship house to do a targeted learning together. Grown-ups should pick up their kids after the service. Through silent, guided mindfulness and sung meditations, today's service will invite all of us to practice the practice of being present with ourselves. This morning, we will practice mindfulness meditation, musical meditation, embodied meditation, and my favorite, laughter meditation. Now, don't worry if you've never done meditation before, or if you're the king or queen of meditation. It's been designed today to make you feel right at home. Now, it's time for one of my favorite parts of the service, getting up, waving to someone, saying hello, greeting someone. If you're Zooming, greet the person on the chat. If you're here in person, you feel like getting up, find a stranger, find someone you haven't talked to in the past few minutes. Say hello. And the recall will be when Grace starts playing the next hymn. Please get up and say hello.
Join me in singing number 15, The Lone Wild Bird, and the words will be on your screen. Let's rise in body or in spirit. Let's sing to them. The lone wild bird in lofty flight is still, nor leaves thy side. And I am thine, I rest in thee. Great Spirit, come and rest in me. The ends of earth are in thy hand, the seas are
I am the Reverend Caitlin Cotter-Quailberg, your Minister of Spiritual Growth. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I offer you now these words written by my dear friend and colleague, the Reverend Elizabeth Mount. From our very first breath, we breathe out. Co-regulation, not self-regulation, is in our nature. We find our cues from the sun and the moon, from each parent and caregiver. We find our place on this great turning planet by turning to one another. Generation to generation, we awaken to the dawn and fall asleep at the evening's end. Our life's journey is part of something greater, something simple, something divine. A flame cannot be lit without a spark. A life cannot begin without the air, and we cannot begin to find ourselves without love. May we reach out to one another. May we offer love and nurturing care. May we join together in celebration of the interdependence of our lives. In this spirit, let us worship together. And it is now time to light the flaming chalice, symbol of our free faith.
Please join me in the words. May this light warm our hearts with love and caring and guide us in the ways of truth. As we gather here for worship, we pledge ourselves to the endless search for truth, to the right of each to believe, as mind, heart, and conscience dictate, to accept the responsibilities this freedom commands, and to implement our belief in the essential worth and dignity of every human being.
May this light warm our hearts with love and caring, and guide us in the ways of truth.
So today's time for all ages is something some of you kids may have done already when we talked about holy troublemaker Thich Nhat Hanh. Does anybody know who Thich Nhat Hanh is? Have you all heard of him? Jane is like, oh yeah. Yeah, he's a great Buddhist leader who started this fabulous place called Plum Village, which is in France, right? The initial one, right. So this is a meditation that comes from Plum Village. And so I need right now, I already talked to a couple of y'all about helping this, but to help Sarah pass out, everybody needs to get an orange. Or if you hate oranges, Reverend Kristen has also provided apples. Persephone, do you want to help? All right, there we go. All right, we need a few, you guys, yeah, you're for, all right. Yeah, we need to get everybody a small orange or an apple. That's right, Lyndon, you can have an apple if you don't want an orange. Absolutely. We are a big fan of pluralism and choices here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Silver Spring. We know that sometimes it feels like we're all apples and oranges. Today we're really leaning into our orange side. Orange, orange, orange. All right, kids, run, run, run. We need to get everyone an orange. All right, so Thich Nhat Hanh, right, is one of our holy troublemakers, and this is what the kids have been doing since January, is this curriculum on holy troublemakers and unlikely saints. And they've been learning about people from lots of different religious traditions. Today, when they go over, they're going to talk about the first female rabbi, who was a German rabbi, and her name was, do you remember, Sarah? It was something. I wrote the lesson plan. I should know. Yeah, for today. It's Rabbi Regina, what was her last name again? Gilmas. Yes. Yeah, so they're learning some feminist history. We're going to talk about Miriam and make Miriam's cups for tonight's Passover Seder, which as long as I'm talking while everyone's getting oranges, I'm going to do the announcement now instead of the end of the service, that after the service, everyone is invited to help move chairs in anticipation of the Seder tonight. And all are welcome at the Seder tonight, which is at, what time is it? 5 o'clock. All right. So the Seder will be starting at 5 o'clock, and if you've never been to a Seder, this is a fabulous one led by Jewish members of our congregation. I'll be there with my spouse and my toddlers. Very excited about it. All right, choir's getting oranges. Are we feeling pretty oranged? All right, if you still need an orange, please raise your hand. All right, I think we're good. Okay. Okay, all right, so, ooh, everyone wiggle for a minute to get into that more meditative space. And hold your orange in your hand. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or perhaps just let your eyes unfocus. And to take 3 slow breaths. In and out. In and out. In and out. That new video game you can't wait to play when you get home, the shopping list you've been adding onto in your mind, the worries and projects weighing on your thinking. Imagine all of this fills a big red balloon. Release the balloon in your mind and see it float away, leaving you, just here, just now. You and your orange. So I invite you, as the sound of the bell gong ebbs away, to open your eyes and really look at your orange. It only takes a moment to see that this gift, this orange, is a gift of the universe. Gaze at it and see the blossom of the orange tree blowing in the wind, nourished by the sun and the rain, being visited from time to time by the bees collecting nectar. See the tiny fruit when it's still green after the petals fall away. See it grow and change color as it ripens in the sun. And I invite you now to begin carefully peeling your orange. If you need help from a neighbor with this, please feel free. I know sometimes those of us who have soft fingernails may need help from someone with that femme power. I invite you to peel that orange, and as you begin to peel the orange, notice the smell of the oils in the skin as you slowly tear it away to reveal the fruit within. Notice how the pith covers every segment. And when you are ready, pull a single segment off the orange and place it oh so slowly and carefully in your mouth. As always, this is an invitation. If you want to take a bite of your apple instead, if you're an apple person, and notice the way the fruit feels in your mouth. Notice how it feels on your tongue. Savor the sweet flavor. Enjoy the texture. See how miraculously brought together sun, rain, dirt, and sky to offer you this delicious bite. I invite you to enjoy the rest of your orange or your apple, slowly and mindfully aware of each bite. Sometimes when we eat, we aren't aware of the food at all. Instead, we are thinking of the past, planning for the future, or focusing on worries and anxieties. This moment is a moment of meditation. You are cultivating the energy of mindfulness in your life. Don't chew your worries, your fears, your anger. Don't think about anything but the precious piece of fruit, gift of the cosmos you have held in your hand, you taste in your mouth, that is bringing nourishment to your body. You don't need to be anything in this moment. You don't need to do anything in this moment except enjoy this fruit, enjoy the miracle of being alive. And choir, I'm going to invite you to finish the chewing that you're doing before you lead us in the anthem. And as the choir leads us in anthem, I'm going to go find some napkins and bring them to anyone who would like one.
Chase my worries, I flee my sorrows, but what you give me is now. So take my burdens and my tomorrows, I want to be where my feet are. My feet are. I want to breathe the life around me. I want to listen as my heart beats right on time. I want to be where my feet are. I run to capture the next horizon. But what you give me is here. I get no farther, and still I find you. I want to be where my feet are. The ground below me is how you hold me. I want to be where my feet are.
So please join me in the spirit of prayer or meditation. You may wish to settle your feet upon the floor or your hands in your lap, or pull out a fidget item to spin or to move in your hand. Spirit of life and love, breathing in, we give thanks for all of the joys within us and among us, for oranges and for all of the other gifts of the cosmos, for new friends and opportunities, for trips and vacations, festivals, and more opportunities to enjoy the outdoors. Breathing out, we lift up all who are carrying sorrows, all in our lives who hold pieces of our hearts, and the many in our world who are suffering. Breathing in, we lift up ourselves. When we miss the mark, when we aren't our best selves, when we carry resentment and anger, may we remember the power of saying sorry, making amends, and forgiving others. When the evils of the world bring us to despair, let us breathe out so that we can breathe in the strengths of the communities of faith, love, and hope that stretch back thousands of years, that hold us now. That we pray will be here to hold our children's long after we are gone. These things we pray in the name of all that is good and right, true and holy. Amen. And in a moment, we begin a time of personal meditation, reflection, or prayer. If you have suffered a deep loss in the last year, you may stand or raise your hand during the silence if you wish to honor your grief. Now let us enter into a time of quiet together, grateful for the sounds of life continuing all around us. And children, youth of all ages are always welcome here in the sanctuary. But most Sundays, we also welcome them, invite them to join us in the fellowship house with trained and background checked staff and volunteers. If you are a kid in the kind of kindergarten through high school age and you would like to go over to fellowship house to talk about Judaism and feminism and other exciting things with Sarah and our other folks, now is that time. Please follow along as we sing you on your way.
Our time together is sacred.
All right. And now I'm inviting you into a time of embodied meditation. This entire meditation will be done while we remain seated, and all of the movements are based on a yoga practice led by Paige Gilchrist. So yoga, as many of us know, is a discipline that began in ancient India and is now part of Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain traditions. Yoga is rooted in the connection between our bodies and our minds, and it helps practitioners still their minds, gain insight, and overcome attachments that lead to suffering. So even with a gentle seated yoga practice like we will share this morning, it's important to remember that all of our bodies are different and beautiful with different ranges of motion, abilities, and comfort levels. It is so good that we are all so different. Embodied meditation shouldn't be painful, and everyone should feel free to adapt any of the movements as needed. And as always, every meditation is an invitation, and if you want to just think about something else or twirl something, feel free. This is an invitation. So I invite you now to settle into our bodies for some moving meditation, and I'm supposed to ring the bowl gong, but it's all the way over there, so pretend the bowl gong has rung. And I invite you, as you are able, to let your back feel supported by your chair. Your feet feel stable by the ground beneath your feet. Your whole body held to the earth by the force of gravity. I invite you to allow your breath to be gentle, easy. And we will begin with some shoulder rolls. So I invite you, as you inhale, to scoop your shoulders forward and way up to your ears, and to sigh as you exhale and roll your shoulders around, back, and down. Again, invite you to do that again, to inhale, to scoop your shoulders forward and up, and sigh as you exhale and roll your shoulders around, back, and down. Again, inhale, roll your shoulders forward, up, sigh as you exhale, and roll your shoulders around, back, and down. And now we're going to practice with each arm individually. I invite you to take your right arm and stretch it up. You may be able to do this different layers depending on how your shoulder is doing and what you're wearing. Some of us may be able to stretch way up, others only so far. Nothing we do should hurt. As you inhale, bend your elbow so your arm is bent. And as you exhale, roll your arm back so your hand comes to rest on your hip. So take your right arm and stretch it up. Nothing we do should hurt. And as you inhale, bend your elbow so your arm is bent. And as you exhale, roll your arm back so your hand comes to rest on your hip. Now we're going to do that with our left arm. To stretch up your left arm just as far as you can or as comfortable alongside your ear. Inhale, and when you exhale, scoop your arm and shoulder blade down so your hand comes to rest on your hip. And again, stretch up your left arm just as far as you can alongside your ear. Inhale, and when you exhale, scoop your arm and shoulder blade down so your hand comes to rest on your hip. And now we're taking this opening up down into the center of the body. When you're ready to inhale, lean your head up and gently arch your spine back, gently, squeezing your shoulder blades together behind you. And as you exhale, curl your spine forward, tucking your chin towards your chest. We'll do that again. On your next inhale, arch your spine back, slowly, gently, squeezing your shoulder blades behind you. As you exhale, a slow, gentle spreading your shoulder blades apart as you curl your spine inward. One more time. Inhale. Feel the opening of your collarbones and your chest as you lean your head back and arch your back. Exhale and reverse that movement. spreading your shoulder blades open, opening up the space behind your heart. Now I invite you, as you are so able, to move your knees, to widen your knees a little bit and start to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Inhale, and as you exhale, move your knees to the right as you gently spin to face left. So we're doing like a, ooh, there we go. Then bring everything back to center. After a moment, inhale again, and as you exhale, move the opposite way this time. So you're moving your shoulders in one direction and your knees in the other. Oh, feel everything open up, your neck, your chest, your belly all open up. Bring everything back to center. Take a minute, just allow your breathing to be gentle. We'll do that again. So inhale and let your knees spin over to the right and stretch your chest towards the left. Taking a minute to let everything open up even further. And then slowly bringing yourself back to the center. Inhale, and with your next exhale, move your knees to the left and spin your chest towards the right. Let's do that one more time on each side. And bring yourself back to center and focus on your breathing in and out. Invite you to let yourself sink into your seat, into this moment, into this breath. Notice the sensations of your body, the support of the chair. In her poem, Loving the World, Mary Oliver said, "My work is loving the world." She went on to say, this process is mostly standing still and learning to be astonished, mostly rejoicing. When we take time to be still, to be fully present with our bodies where and when we are, the astonishing miracle of life is laid bare before us. The miracle of the earth holding you here, the air filling your lungs, your precious heart beating steadily, carrying needed nourishment to your whole body. Be in whatever form this still, present state is bringing you for a few more quiet moments. And in just a few moments, we'll have 2 full moments of silence. You may feel like you'd like to be just as you are, or you may naturally feel your awareness begin to extend out into the world. Imagine your heart as a pebble dropping into the pond of life. This feeling ripples just beyond the feeling of your skin. It ripples out further and further. No right or wrong, just sitting still and being astonished, loving the world for a few more breaths. Or my Zen teacher taught me to think about dropping through the layers of self. Right? We are not our thoughts. We are not what we are experiencing. We are something deeper. To let yourself drop through those layers like a pebble through water. 2 minutes of silence now. right. Are you ready for this? Because we're going to round out our service today with what may be the easiest form of meditation, laughter meditation. Yeah, see, some of you are getting warmed up there. Excellent, excellent. So in laughter meditation, there is nothing to focus on, no mantras to chant, nothing to visualize. We engage in laughter meditation simply by laughing. This is a practice I recommend continuing in your daily life as much as possible. So it might feel really strange to just begin laughing, since we are so conditioned by society, right, to repress our feelings except under certain circumstances. So I invite you to let go of society's expectations as much as you can. And we will begin our laughter meditation by smiling. Now, as a woman, I'm rarely going to tell people to smile, so I'm inviting you to smile. I invite you to smile. And then we will broaden our smiles and we're just going to start laughing gently. We're not laughing at anyone or anything. We can just be present with the laughter as it ebbs and flows. So there's often a turning point in laughter meditation when things tip over from trying to laugh and into laughter that comes naturally. And through the whole process, we will try to allow any thoughts that arise to float back out of our heads so that we can be present to the laughter. And after the laughter naturally subsides, Grace and Michael will lead us in a hymn, and then we will give and receive the offering. So let's begin our laughter meditation. Gently lift the corners of your mouth and feel the warmth spread through your body as you do so. It can feel so good to smile. Now I invite you to broaden your smile. And even though nothing as funny has happened, just start gently laughing. Go ahead and laugh weird. Laugh weird. Thank you.
Still laughing.
Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. We're all gathered here, and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks
For this precious day, all gathered here and all far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
I'm still chuckling. That was really cool. Unlike most venues, UUCSS is not a fee for service. We don't sell tickets to worship or charge for our kids to go to religious education. This congregation and the impact we have in people's lives and our community are possible through your generosity, financially and otherwise. The many gifts we give and receive here help us do greater good together than any of us could do alone. Now, as many of you are aware, there are indeed several ways to give to UUCSS. If you are here in person, we invite you to put your offering in the offering plates when they are passed around. However you plan to give, please join me in dedicating all of our gifts to the mission of this congregation by reading what you see on the screen. To create joyful spiritual community where we connect deeply, serve, and mobilize for our collective liberation. The offering will now be greatly received.
In common silence, in common silence is found. In common silence is often found rare answers. Is often found rare answers. Listen closely. Listen closely. Listen closely. Listen, listen, the heartbeat you feel, the heartbeat you feel emanate. The heartbeat you feel may emanate from the world, not just your own chest. In common silence, listen closely. In common silence, listen closely. In common silence. Listen close, in common silence. Listen, the combined power of every dream is found. silence.
Good morning. My name is Tamara Bowman, and I'm a member of the board. My pronouns are she, her. We gather for worship every Sunday morning here at UUCSS, both in person and by Zoom. But Sunday mornings are just one small part of who we are and what we do as a congregation. We are a vibrant collective of lay volunteers, leaders, and paid staff. We are growing relationships with our neighbors here in Silver Spring. We are a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association, and we are one small part of the global UU faith movement. I hope everyone will look over the ways to connect highlighted in the printed program the Sunday support team handed out on your way in. We also have 5 announcements we'd like to draw special attention to this morning. On the first Sunday of each month, we collect non-perishable donations for the food bank at the Silver Spring Christian Reformed Church. The food bank especially needs canned and boxed foods that are low sugar, low sodium, and whole wheat. Please bring your non-perishable donations to church next Sunday, May 5th. If you can't make it to church next Sunday but still wish to donate, you can always leave your food in the kitchen with a label that says Food Bank Donation. Budget update. Over the last couple of weeks, the board has hosted 3 budget info sessions in order to engage with all of you around the budget the board proposed for the 2024-2025 year. So many of you attended at least one of these sessions and/or communicated your feedback to the board members directly. We want to thank all of you who took the time to engage with us in this process. The budget the board proposed included an error in property expenses. Though many eyes scrutinized the proposed budget over many weeks, this error was discovered thanks to an additional review. The good news is that the error made the projected expenses seem much higher than they actually are. What are initially believed to be a $110,000 deficit has turned out to be only a $35,000 deficit. Yes. The error went in the correct direction. This means that the proposed cuts to staff hours and program budgets will not be necessary. In fact, the board is preparing an updated budget proposal that will include cost of living increases for all staff. All of us on the board wish to apologize to everyone in the congregation for this error and for the stress it has caused so many in the congregation. We are especially sorry for the stress this has caused our music director, Michael Holmes. We are human and we make mistakes, but your board is committed to learning from our mistakes and taking measures to ensure we don't make the same mistakes again. To this end, we hope to recruit people skilled in finance onto our finance committee so that we can all benefit from multiple sets of eyes and perspectives when it comes to the church's finances. Finally, while this inadvertent error caused additional stress to the congregation, the board has benefited from the discernment it had to do around the long-term financial health of the congregation. This budget review process revealed areas of financial risk-taking necessary to live our values. It also identified steps UUCSS can take to mitigate those risks, such as incorporating funding capital and operational reserves over a period of time to hedge against shifts in revenue and address unanticipated expenses while maintaining our commitment to our staff, programs, and values. As well, always, we welcome your feedback and encouragement. If you are interested in sharing your gifts and skills with the Finance Committee, please write to the board at board@uucss.groups.io to give one of us a call or find us at church. Number 3, do you have a favorite UU hymn or song from one of our songbooks? Would you like to lead a Sunday service over the summer about that song? If you answered yes to both of these questions, please be in touch with Reverend Kristen. Our summer worship series this year will center one hymn each week. All service leaders will receive a worship template from Reverend Kristen, guidance from a worship associate, and the support of our wonderful musicians. Please email Reverend Kristen at minister@uucss.org to learn more or sign up for a summer Sunday. Visitors and friends, there will be a UUCSS 101 on Sunday, May 5th, following the service. Join folks from the membership committee for an informal Q&A about all things UUCSS. We'll meet in the back of the sanctuary by the welcome table. The final announcement. Today is about safety and security here at church. On Wednesday, May 15th, we will change the codes on the administrative building and on the lockbox to the sanctuary building. Board members, staff members, key volunteers, like the collectors and the treasurer, committee chairs, and our renters will all receive emails by May 8th from Jeanette with new access codes. If you have questions or concerns about the code change, please reach out to our office administrator, Jeanette Jackson, as soon as possible. Thus ends the announcements. Yes.
It's that time. Please join me in the words as we extinguish our chalice. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.
Thank you. I'll come up here. Let's rise in body and spirit. We're singing number 1057. You can see the tune in your teal hymnal if you have it. Otherwise, the lyrics are on the screen. I think it's fairly easy to sing. So we'll hear it once through. Go lifted up, love bless your way. Moonlight, starlight, guide your journey into peace and the brightness of day. One more time. Go lifted up, love bless your way. Moonlight, starlight, guide your journey into peace and the brightness of day.
In closing, I want to offer thanks to our board for their fabulous work. It is not easy to say, whoops, is it? And I am so, so grateful for y'all and how you've been in this with all of the big feelings we've all been having about it, right? And I offer you these words of benediction by the late, great Universalist pastor, Gordon McKeeman. The worship of the gathered community is now ended. Go in peace, go in joy, go in love to share in the ongoing worship of the community in dispersion. Carry with you what is precious to us all, reverence for all life, beauty that displays itself in love, deep, abiding peace. Our worship now has ended and our service begins. A reminder that coffee hour will be downstairs, but if you can move a chair or two before you headed that way, Jeremy will guide us in where they go. That's Jeremy there. Thank you all. Blessed be.
Peace of the